we can't do this without sponsors. Hi, this is Elizabeth Claire Brewington and Elton Brewington. We are with Brightside Global Trade TV. What a day we have had today. We started off with Madam C.J. Walker's great-granddaughter, and she talked about the life and legacy and her book, and also about the foundation and the new product line that's going to be available in Walmart. I will make sure that the links are available, but you must see this video. It is an absolutely must-see video. At noon, we have the State of Wellness Marketplace, and we had Trina Johnson, who's a retailer and a farmer, and she gave us a beautiful presentation, and we had a fantastic panel. At 1 o'clock, we had food innovators, and I don't know, they disappeared, but we'll bring them back. And now we're with Grover and James, and then we did a fabulous presentation with a U.S. Army veteran on credit repair as well as financing. So those of you who are, oh, I don't really want to fix my credit, well, then get the financing. All right, so I will move over to the introduction. Let me see if I can go through this. Elton, yeah, there we go. Let me get back to the slide. Yeah, okay. There we go. So Grover, would you like to give us an introduction, and then we'll bring James in, and then we'll see if we can get this video going.
Yes, the the video started back on January the 10th, 2020. I returned to Kenya after 52 years absent with a former Peace Corps volunteer, Jesse Womack, who's an attorney out of Burbank, LA area. So we went to go, we were 2 years or 3 years after independence. And it was a vast difference. And we could not have had a better tour guide than James, who knows the country and knows the politics. He knows probably everything about Kenya. And he's very versed. And basically we told him we didn't want a tour of the game parks. We wanted to go back to the farms that we had worked on. But in every tour to Kenya or anywhere in Africa, particularly East Africa, you got to go on a tour. So we went on a tour to Lake Kenya, not Kenya.
Makau.
No. It's the city I lived in.
Okay.
Nakuru. And so it's now a huge national park there. But we saw the farms that we had worked on, and that was the joy of our trip. And we spent, I think, 3 days in Nakuru, and we spent a day on Lake Nakuru, which is vastly different than when we were there. It was much smaller, a lot of flamingos, and now through environmental changes, no flamingos, and a huge lake. But they have a lot more animals than they did when we were there. So that's basically the introduction to the trip.
Awesome. And I see we've got Alexandra joining us, and she's another book author, and we have Ida. We haven't brought her on yet. So this is perfect. All right. So James, give us an introduction. And if I was to go on a tour to Kenya today, how would I book the tour? I know we'd call Grover because he's here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so tell us, what can we expect with the tour in Kenya?
Give us a various perspective too. Many different options that way. Okay, like that. Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Mike. Mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you for inviting me and offering me this opportunity. When people ask me what they can do in the country, there are a couple of questions I ask them. The first thing I ask them is their interests. Okay. Because as a country, there's so much that someone can do. We have the ocean, we have the wildlife, we have the cultural aspect, we have everything under one roof, so to speak. So based on your needs, I've had people who've come for crusades, religious meetings. I've had people who've come to climb mountains like Grover did Kilimanjaro. I've had people who've come for cultural experiences. I've had people who've come for wildlife viewing. So my first question is, I ask people what their interest is. So if it's wildlife, I'll arrange their program based on wildlife. If their interests are culture, I arrange their trip based on their cultural needs. Now, people will always ask me, how is the accommodation? and I tell them accommodation in this country is like anything you'll find in Europe. It might have, like if you look on the slide on the left top corner, that is a grass thatched building. Those are actually elevated grounds on top of mountain hills. Inside, everything is included. And I think the new word I learned from my last trip, they call it glamping or glamorous camping. So everything is pretty much within your room. Now, the one thing that I always try and do as much as I can possibly do is I try and engage my people with the local community. So I'll share them with sports, allow them join classrooms. I have programs for kids whereby I engage kids with the local kids and they'll all go having fun in classrooms. I engage ladies with the local ladies or women. I engage men with men. And sometimes on different occasions, I've had educational programs whereby I link students from the US with students in Kenya, and they do get credits for their time. So I've done 2 programs where you have semester credit transferred for the experience in this country to the US colleges. So when you ask me exactly what someone can do, there's so much varied stuff that you can do.
Yep.
Everything under the sun.
Yep. And we'll show the video in a few minutes, but I want to, any questions, and then we'll bring the video because we need a little time. So I'll bring Alexander on and then I'll bring you guys back with the video. So any questions for Grover and for, anybody has a question? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do with this group is I'm going to make sure that you know we do this video. Let me get to the gallery view. Yeah, there we go. So we should do a trip, I think, because we have the Brightside Club, and I don't see why we as a club could not go to Kenya. So I'm going to put a package together. And for those of you, so what's the best time of the year to go to Kenya for a safari? Is it October?
I think the Kenya as a country is an all year round destination.
Okay.
The question is, what are you looking for? So in terms of wildlife experience, I always tell people try and avoid late March, April, and May.
Okay.
Because this is the rainy season.
Oh.
And of course, we talk about rainy season, the roads become very wet and it's all off-road driving, which can be tricky. So if it's wildlife viewing, avoid March, April, and May. The rest of the time, so the country is an all year round destination. October is awesome.
Autumn, because we need time to market. So I'm gonna commit to planning a trip to Kenya with my group. So I'll work with Grover and you, and then we'll have a nice time. I see Barry Jenkins. We weren't expecting you, Barry. Quickly, thank you for joining us. We've had quite a day today. So let me see if I can put you in the spotlight. Yep. So tell us a little bit about you, and I'll bring Alexander, and then I'm going to bring the video on as well.
Sure. Well, my name is Barry Jenkins, and I run a team in Virginia Beach, a real